Welcome, everyone, to the Wednesday edition of the Systems Lab Live. Wonderful to see you all on YouTube and on LinkedIn. And hello to the Instagram family. I definitely encourage you to join in on the fun on YouTube so that I can see you and you can see me. And we have some demonstrations and we have some visual aspects to tonight's show that I definitely want you to be a part of. We are going to dive into it as I bring up the first segment, which is process and flow, in which we dive into an app or a particular process that I want to be able to showcase to you all. So it's not just the app, but it's also what is the process that's connected to that. And then we get into the process and flow portion of the show, as you know, in which we will look at a little bit of a deeper dive. We don't even go little, we go all the way deep. So definitely put in the comments. I want to make sure this scrolls on the bottom to drop your name, your location, where you logging in from, and what are the particular things that you're working on this week or even this month. What's something that's exciting, a project, a task, something that you're looking to accomplish. We want to make sure that we celebrate that. And if you have any questions, you can always drop them into the comments. Or, as I always like to emphasize too, is that if you ever would like to join the Systems Lab crew, which is just a text community where you can text #live to 626-722-5444. Anytime that you watch a Systems Lab Live, this is just the opportunity where you can ask follow-up questions. Oftentimes we are catching these replays and catching these shows at different times. And so you may have a question. And so this is a great opportunity for you to just text that question, right? What did you mean by this? Or, when you were talking about this on this particular segment of the show, could you break that down a little bit more? And then we can have our one-on-one chat. So we're going to get into one of an app that I think is something that I'm definitely looking to see. Is this going to be the right investment purchase for me? Which is, it's called Shift, SHIFT. So it is a productivity software tool. Okay, so when we focus and really talk about how many apps do I have open on my desktop or on my phone, am I app switching too much? I have a post coming out in maybe about, I don't know, around 9 o'clock. I've scheduled it, but I talk about, current pain points. And one of the things I identified for me was a productivity killer, which is task switching. You have too many browser tabs open, and then you're switching back and forth. Well, this little gadget right here called Shift is a desktop platform where you can literally put all of your favorite tools in one. I saw Shift primarily at a co-working space. The owner had something up on her screen. And I was like, do you like that? And what is that? So she broke that all the way down. It's cool because you can manage multiple email accounts, and you can also be connected to many different types of apps within this desktop application. And they say it's really good to declutter your desktop, so you don't have to have multiple browsers open. You can just have particular platforms that you utilize every single day. Okay, wonderful. I love it. In the comments, okay, we got Shaira, who said she's from Central Florida, working on a new sales page this week. Very good. Very good. Shout out to Mark. Yep. This is what I'm doing, folks. Just keeping the people informed. But this is neat. So things that you can do within Shift, they have apps such as Facebook. They have InDesign, I think it is. No, it's something else. I forgot what the icon is. Slack, Asana, Dropbox. And so what they'll ask you to do is they will ask you to download the desktop app. When you download it, it's only you can only have 2 email accounts, and I think maybe like 1 or 2 apps. And then I believe the price tag for this, the pricing of it, I believe is $99. But I want to say, excuse me, that, and I'm just going to look at the pricing of this because I want to say they often will discount the pricing of it. Okay. So let me look at it now. Okay, so a basic one is up to 2 accounts, Gmail, G Suite, Outlook, and Office, up to 1 app. Okay, that's how they kind of get you. You know, when it's sort of like that basic information, they'll just give you just minimal things. And let me stop it right quick and go to pricing. Okay, so you guys can see it. So $99 per year. So that's also something to think about too. This is only 1 license per year. So when you see that, and I'm just gonna go in so you guys can see it. Unlimited accounts, okay, unlimited apps, desktop notifications, cross-platform support. You'll be able to remove set with shift. There's notification muting, add Google services, Chrome extensions, unified search. And then, of course, if you have a team, it's just $99 per year. So that's only when you are, you know, that's when it will probably get a little pricey when you start adding team members. So apps and extensions. Let's look at the apps, the types of apps that they have. Practically everything they have here. You see Slack, Facebook, Spotify. They have Facebook Messenger, Skype, PayPal, Trello. Let's see. WhatsApp is right here. They have Airtable. So they have project management. They have ClickUp is featured right here. That's great. Todoist as well. And so they have each of these have different categories. So you can be able to see what type of, oh, let's go back here. Communication and messaging. Airtable, Apple Mail, Blue Jeans. They literally have any type of app you could think of. They got Asana. They have Coda. We'll have to do a little Coda tour as well. But this, I'm thoroughly impressed. If you want to cut down again on the amount of browsers that you have open and you just want to put it into one space, that's the part where, you know, that for me, I'm really loving that piece of it. Customer support, Typeform, Groove. Some of these apps I've not heard of. Definitely heard of Zendesk, SurveyMonkey. Let's see, what else do they have? Social media, that's going to be huge. So LinkedIn, they have Agora Pulse. So that's a tool to use to manage social media. So I think that this definitely is a tool to consider if you really want to hone in on not having as many browsers open, and you can literally have one app that just houses all of your favorite apps, and you can just go in that app and work. Or you could actually spend more time in, you know, like Google Suite if you wanted to, right? And just be able to just close that Shift browser, put it all in one spot. So I think if from a productivity standpoint, this is definitely something that you'll want to consider. I'm definitely going to go on YouTube and go see some reviews from people and see what is it that they like, What don't they like? As you see right here, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit, you can see all of these different apps right here in this demo. You see they have the accounts are right here, and then they have Slack, and then they have Instagram, and then they have Asana, and then Facebook, and then Facebook Messenger. So, and yeah, this is, like I said, a really interesting app. All of your email accounts in one space. Add all of your favorite apps. Works faster than with Chrome. Okay. That's definitely something. Zero in with focus web tabs. Unify your search so that you are literally just searching within the Shift app itself. So, very impressed by this. Let's see. Yep. And then I signed up for their newsletter. Sign up and get your newsletter delivered straight to your inbox. And yeah, I think that is it. I think it's just, and also too, I believe it's just, you can only have it for Windows and Mac. So they probably do not have that for anything else. Yeah. Probably because, you know, you have your phones. You probably wouldn't need a Shift app for iPad or for iOS. Probably wouldn't make too much sense. So tell me all what you think about the Shift app. I would definitely do some diligent research on this. I'm going to continue to do research myself, but I'm very much intrigued by this all-in-one app piece. I really do like this a lot, and I like it from the perspective of, man, could I just get away with just having a couple of browsers open at a time, and that is about it, and I could just be able to, you know, not be distracted with the amount of browsers that are open. So I think there's definitely a case for this. It looks like they have some case studies. A new version of Shift is coming. It's faster, lighter, and offers a better browsing experience. Oh, look at this. Who would have thunk it? Subsections for entrepreneurs. It looks like they have Shift, getting the most out of Shift. She has a workspace dedicated to planning her upcoming baby shower. Shift versus a regular browser. So Mary says, when we asked Mary how Shift compares to a regular work browser, she responded, it's so much more than that. If more people jumped in and used it, they would get and see for themselves how helpful it is. To the naysayers who think that working in Chrome tabs is just fine, Mary has to say, sure, you could have a whole bunch of browser tabs open, but you're still not solving the problem of visual chaos. There's simply no focus or organization with a million web tabs open, period. Shift helps me organize my life so much that I never want to go back to the way I was working in Chrome. So that is, again, that's a nice promising testimonial that we're seeing here. So it says on June 8th, Jessica from Shift says that they are releasing version 8 of Shift. And so they are going to have a more streamlined browsing experience. They are going to release some of these new features sometimes in July 2022. So that, what's the difference, they say, in version 8? I mean, I don't even know what the versions are from 1 through 7. Oh, what is going on? Hey. April D Designs, great to see you. So they have workspaces, dock and taskbar, custom photos, how to manage notifications, smart linking. They have a roadmap. Speaking of that, because we are absolutely going to be talking about road mapping in a minute. Oh, let me show you. Let me go back out and show you what the roadmap looks like. Share screen. I was looking at something different. Look at this. So we talked just on Monday about road mapping, and how road mapping is a visual tool that you use to actually help focus you and your team on the future. So it's basically forecasting plans, forecasting how the work is going to get done, the goals that you want to accomplish. And I love that they have a feature roadmap right here. They have it right here. And this is very common with a lot of technology tools and platforms, being very transparent with their users to say, hey, this is what we have planned. Okay, so this is the um, feature plan for V8. They have workspaces, and then they're giving you notes on this. The ability to upload a custom image on email accounts coming late 2022. Dock and taskbar badges and the ability to toggle off in the sidebar late 2022. So when we switch over to the roadmaps, definitely begin to think about, if I'm going to be planning a launch, if I'm planning an event, if I'm rolling out a particular project, then what does that roadmap going to look like? And so I'm going to explain that. You're going to see 2 demos, one for membership and one for courses. All right. I'm creating some ClickUp content. I'm creating some ClickUp content coming up. And so I'm plugging your fabulous work. You are my go-to source. Oh, well, look at that. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. Thank you so much for plugging me. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing that. I will make sure to repost. Man, thank you so much. So that is super, super cool. All right, guys, we are going to get into it today. Let me show you once again what let's see, let me go to this particular screen. We're going to go into the course module content. So course creation, absolutely, one of the more hotter topics of this particular season, the probably past year or two. Everybody's talking about, I need a course. Let's get a course. Let's be able to take all what's in our brain and put it into a way that people can buy our content and put it in an organized way. And of course, the fantastic course director, Jose, he's at the helm of many courses that are out there that I've seen, that he's spoken about. And so I was absolutely inspired. And I'm going to let me take this little banner piece off so you guys can see the whole thing. But I was very much inspired by thinking of someone else that I know quite well, and designing a leadership course, which I thought was super cool. And so there's a couple different versions that you're seeing in the sandbox space. You're seeing at the folder level, course 1 and course 1 and like course 2, basically course and course A, and then course module content. So I'm going to go with course A. Okay, this makes sense. It's course A. So I want you to see right here, there are different statuses. And for those that are familiar or getting familiar with ClickUp, then you know that a couple of things are the bread and butter of ClickUp. One is the hierarchy, which is all about organizing, the work from the workspace perspective to the space perspective to the folder perspective to the list perspective, right? And so, excuse me, once you are looking at how you want to set up your hierarchy, that helps you to actually get a better understanding of what these statuses will be, which is like the workflow. So let's make sure we want to pull it back so we make sure that we are understanding what we're talking about. So from a space perspective, you want to make sure that that's a container for all related content and information. That's what the spaces are for. Okay. So when you see something called course design, it's going to be all related information and projects related to course design. So you got the space, you got the folder, and you have the list. The list is where the project lives. Okay. So think of it as the state, which is course design, the folder, which is the capital. So you got Virginia as the space, the folder, which is course creation, that's the capital, Richmond. And then you have the list, which you see Aisha's leadership course A, which is the municipality, like Fairfax County or something like that. Okay, that's how it rolls. It's the same thing for hiring. I have a hiring space. So I have a hiring space, and then there's a folder that is like hiring 2022 or something like that. And then hiring as the project list. And maybe you're again maybe you're going to be hiring just like a group of people, something like that. Inside of this particular course, what you'll see here is, and let me just go in just a tiny bit because I just want to make sure that you guys can actually see. Okay, this looks good. Okay. All right. So what you see right here is you see these little, like in that purple piece, what you see right here is the groundwork. Okay. So what is the groundwork? I'm so glad that you asked what the groundwork is. There's something called having a project management framework that I believe every business should have. Every brand and business should have a project management framework that basically is your customized your customized framework for how you go about delivering projects internally and externally in your business. Make sense? So for me, I want to have there's a phased approach. Okay. We're going to get a little technical, but I know y'all can handle it. Excuse me. So in this traditional project management framework that we're looking at, there's something called waterfall. You got initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Okay. And it's a phased approach. It's basically like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. It's very sequential. Okay. So for Aisha's leadership course, Aisha's leadership course, this is the groundwork. This is phase 1. Phase 1 encapsulates course discovery. So in my mind, from what I have learned about creating and launching a course, here are some of the areas that one should focus on. Course discovery, establishing a budget, the resources, developing a high-level concept for the course. What's the scope? Identifying the deadline for completion, identifying the KPIs, kickoff meeting with the client, slide deck, client approval. And again, this is also from the perspective of, hey, I'm an agency or I'm a service provider and I'm helping someone launch a course. So that's why you're seeing the client approval and everything. So that is phase 1. Okay. Phase 2 is the foundation. This is where you're getting into the meat of it. This is where you're developing the messaging. This is really getting the brand approval. This right here is a milestone. Okay. And what we'll do in maybe another week or so, when we get into how you go about managing projects in real time. And we'll do that within ClickUp as well in another couple of weeks. But milestones are very key, like they're not deadlines. They are like very important tasks that you just want to make sure that you highlight and that you underscore before you're moving on to the next thing. Okay. What's next? The execution. This is where we are developing the course. So what I've done here is I've developed the course modules. There's checklists and things in here. It's due on the 31st, so you have all sorts of different types of deadlines here. And you'll absolutely, in just a minute, you're going to see the roadmap ahead. You're going to see the roadmap. Course review, course content review 1, 2, and 3. Create a teachable course, meaning create the actual platform that's going to be hosted on. The webinar launch, shout out to Words Taylor. Create customer satisfaction surveys. Then there's also testing. I'm a big believer in testing things. Okay. That's really important. And what else do we have here? And then lastly, we have the closing, project review, post-launch documentation and task cleanup, post-course implementation plan. Okay. So this is, I would say moderately thorough, moderately thorough. So I want you all to see a couple things. The Gantt chart, if you go into the views. So something that's very powerful about ClickUp is the views. How do we view the information best so that we can see the necessary information so we can make decisions based on data, based on what the information is being presented, and tracking project progress. So Gantt charts highlight a project's progress along a timeline. Okay, that's very important for us to understand. Okay, that is what a Gantt chart is. Okay, and a timeline, a project timeline, is a visual chart that lets you display project events in chronological order. By using a project timeline, you can visualize your project roadmap faster than you can say progress. Okay. So the key elements of a timeline are all project tasks, the task date, and the end date, and the duration. And let's also be honest, folks, you know, sometimes these things can be a little interchangeable. You know, it's just really, it's dependent on what you sort of looking to see. The Gantt chart, you're going to see more of like task priorities, assign project team members. This is where you're seeing the entire project schedule and time estimates and things like that. Okay, that's sort of what you're looking at. So we're going to go and I'm going to click on two of these things. Okay, we'll go to Gantt chart first. Okay, we're going to go to Gantt chart because now we're going to see right here. Okay, we're looking at the task in the actual schedule itself. So that's what we're concerned with. Okay, we're concerned with looking at the essential status of the actual project itself, the individual tasks, the start time, the end time, the order in which they should be completed. Okay, as you see right here, course discovery is taking a few weeks. This way, when you start looking at these Gantt charts and looking at the tasks, you can say, well, okay, so if the course discovery is really from July 3rd all the way to the 23rd, we have our client kickoff meeting. Okay, look at that. The client kickoff meeting, we're seeing that this is on the 11th. And then you see course development starts on the 18th. This is where you can really start asking yourself these questions of, man, do these deadlines make sense? And you could just be truthful, right? Like, does it make sense if course discovery, which has several different types of, ooh, look at this. Isn't this beautiful? You can just open this up like so. You see, okay, man, there's all these different types of tasks within course discovery. I'm actually going to sit here and actually move this, right? I'm going to move this here. I'm going to move this right here. I'm actually going to move this right here. I'm actually move this like straight over here, right? Identify the KPIs. Okay. So I'm going to move these right here. And this is interesting because now I have to think about, all right, so can course development start at, is this the appropriate part that course development can start? So maybe, and let me slide this back here. I'm going to slide this back here because course discovery is on the 3rd or the 4th, right, of July, and it goes all the way to the 23rd. The kickoff meeting is right here. Okay. It's on the 11th. But see, you see how I moved up course development? So let's say you're looking at this and you're saying, does it make sense if we need a client sign off on the, the kickoff meeting? And then, and let me take it a step back. Kickoff meetings, typically when you're meeting with a client, you're really just presenting information. Hey, here's the scope of the project. Here's what we're going to do, right? And you're really just syncing on the requirements and making sure that everybody's on the same page. So the question when you see course development right here, which is starting before the kickoff meeting, you may want to ask yourself, does it make sense that we are starting to develop the course material before we have the kickoff meeting? It depends. It depends what the process is, but it may not be, right? But you have the authority to look at that and say, you know what? I don't think that makes much sense. I want this to start right here. We anticipate, let me go right here. I'm going to go right here. We anticipate that we'll have some sort of approval afterwards. And maybe you need to put another milestone date, right? And what's cool about this is that you can actually add a task right here. You can add a task. And I'm going to actually add this as, that's not what I wanted. I did not want sprint points. I'm going to go back. Let me go back. Let me go back to the list. And then I'm actually just going to copy this. And course design. All right. So anytime that you need to have okay. So this is already right here. Let me delete that. I forgot this was right here. Client approval. Okay. Let me go back here and show you guys what I mean. Client approval. Let me go right here. See? Client approval. Where's the little thing for the client approval? Okay. Kickoff meeting. Oh, okay. I see. Slide deck and approval. Okay. No, I definitely need to then put a milestone right here then. Okay. Let me go back. That's what I was thinking I was doing. Client approval. Oh no, it's right here. Well, where did the little thingy go? I think that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for bloop, bloop, bloop. Let's go right here. I probably, this is right here. See? Look at this, folks. Look at this. Okay, that's what I actually meant to put right here, which was client approval. That's exactly what I did. And then I want to mark as a milestone. See, this is what I was trying to do. Here we go. Nothing like developing on the go. Okay. So we're going to have client approval. Let's put that right here. So we're going to have client approval like right here. So once you have the client approval, boom, you can start the course development. Okay. Any questions that people have so far about what I'm talking about? Anybody have any questions so far? We're looking at, again, the Gantt chart view. We're looking at project tasks. We're looking at start and end times, right? I'm going to add right here another view. This is the timeline view. Okay. And so when we're looking at this from roadmap perspective, I'm just going to save this. This is where you can really start to see and to visualize the timeline view. Okay. So for timeline view, you're looking at, all right, let's look at this as like the overall, the overarching aspect of like the quick visual, like the task names, the assignees, the duration, right? Gantt chart is like super, super specific. Okay. Super, super specific. So you can see right here, okay, that in this week view, you see that course discovery is July 4th all the way to the 22nd, the 11th all the way to the 31st. You see there's a couple milestone dates. So you're seeing there's a difference between the two. Gantt, super, super granular timeline. And this is what, again, for road mapping, this is exactly what you would want to see in this view. You can go to month view and you can see, all right, what's happening. Again, high level, what's going to happen? What's happening July and August? Course discovery, brand and developing branding and marketing strategy. What this does is it helps you to actually see, all right, based upon what I have planned, does it make sense if I added another type of project? Maybe you want to launch a membership group. Based upon these activities, you can begin to start making educated decisions on the type of work that you can do. Also, it gives you, again, a very strategic approach to your work and what you're looking at. How do we like this, folks? How do we like this? Some other interesting features about ClickUp is that if you want to, you can group things by status, tags, custom fields if you want to. What's this? Project phase. What's this? Let's see. Look at this. So you can actually go and, if you wanted to, put some of your project phases and see, all right, in the groundwork, we're working on course discovery and the foundation phase in July all the way to the end of October. July all the way to the end of August. We are working on developing branding and marketing. And then also too, course development starts in July as well. Okay. Now that you kind of see, okay, that you can actually group this by a custom field. What's cool about this is that maybe you have things for the sales team or the marketing team. Okay. And maybe you want to start to actually, as a roadmap, begin to dive down deep into the details of what each area is responsible for. That's also an option as well. Timeline view is also very good because you can also see what's unscheduled and what's overdue. So I say review the social media and social data. I guess this would be, I guess I'm going to put this maybe here. I guess I'll just put this in October. And so once you do that, this is also great too, because when you are in timeline view on ClickUp and you see a whole bunch of unscheduled tasks, you can then say, all right, well, where would this fit in terms of what I have right here? All right. You also can create a new task as well. Check. Let's see. Let's see. Develop, I don't know, copywriting. Okay. And you can schedule that for the 9th, all the way to, wait, you got this, 27th, and put this right here. It's going to be right here. Close that. And then you'll be able to see, oops. Be able to see it's in right here. So you see right here in the groundwork, or you see right here, it is develop copywriting. Develop copywriting. Let me put this right. Oh, I meant to put this right here. Or you can, put it in these other different types of statuses wherever they may belong. So that is a key piece of that. All right. Any questions that people have, please let me know. But that's what we're looking at when it comes to road mapping. Again, the opportunity where you're really going to be able to see a visual aspect of the tasks. Okay. It's really going to give you that high level overview of the work at play. Course module content. This is also something, again, if you want to look at a simpler way of developing your course content, you could always put it in a separate list if you want to. This is just something I was testing out. And, of course, you got one subtask, but this is an easy way where you can, have your status, you're working on it, the to-do, that's the status, or maybe it's in progress, you're writing it, give yourself a deadline if you'd like to. So I'm going to go back, and I do want to bring up, we go into spaces. We're going to go into membership community. I want to go into the membership content roadmap. And I'm actually going to fill out a few of these themes because I want to do some filtering as we are doing that. Let's see. Let's see. Right, I'm going to delete this. All right. So I'm going to go up here, go to view. And again, with each of these views, again, task, that's always going to be, the task list is what's always going to be by default. Board view, if you just want a more visual representation of moving your tasks in a visual manner between statuses. Calendar view, very popular for creating content. We just went over Gantt, which is, again, very microscopic. Timeline view, that's going to give you that overarching view of high level tasks and seeing where that is. So we're going to click on the timeline right now. And we got to schedule. Oh, look at this. Well, let's go on and schedule some of these. So let me go back to the list view. Oh no, we can just do month 3. Month 3 is, this is 2023. So we can do March 1st, 2023. Let's see. We can do all the way to here. Close. And I'm just going to go through month 1. Okay, so I've done month 1, month 2. Let's see, month 3. And, oh, we said March 1 of 23. All the way to 2023. And we're going to do the same for month 4. So we're going to do April 1st of 2023 all the way to April 30th. We'll do the first 6 months. And then we'll do May 1st, 2023 to May 1st. Okay. All right. And I'm going to click on timeline view. And I want to go straight into, let's scroll right on over to January. Just going to hide this for a minute. All right. So you're going to see month 1. And then you'll see like month 2 is right here. But one thing that we should look into for month 1 and month 2 is that there are subtasks right here. Okay. So you see each of these subtasks can be shown. All the 4 weeks are shown right here. Let me see right here. Let me see this. We're going to go over and see how this works. We'll save this right here. Okay. So right here, we have the membership content roadmap show. I'm going to go right here to show subtasks. Perfect. Okay. And let me go back on over. Okay. I'll go right back on over here. Here we go. And here we go. So right here, you see, here's the roadmap that you see right here. Month 1, which is January, you have week 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, this gives a really good view and perspective of what you can plan for your member content. You can actually put in the themes in here. So this could be month 1. We already have for month 1. So we have the subtask, we have the goal setting. Right here is goal setting. And then you can name each week accordingly so that you know what you're working on. Now, as we saw from before, that you can actually group it by the custom field. So if you wanted to, you can group it by the theme. And then you can really see by theme, time management. Man, I wonder when time management is going to take place. So, you know, this is definitely a way for you, once you're putting in each of these dates, you can begin to see how you can have the different types of dates and times and things like that. So I'm going to not group them by theme. I'm going to actually go to none. And since we're here, I'm just going to go all the way over back here. And I'm going to put this into, actually, I'm going to put month 1. And I'm going to say this is January. And I'm going to say this is February. March. April. May. June. July. And then this is August. This is September. October. November. And this is December. All right. This is December. Oh. Okay. No, it has these. Okay, great. So it has, so we have all 12 months here. We have, we're going to show these subs tasks really quickly. We'll save it. And then we have each of them by month. Note here that you can always also group this by the custom field if you wanted to. You can always be able to group them by their custom field. So you can always group them. Let's see. I'm going to go by month and see how that looks. So you have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So all your months are right here. And you can also have this drop down right here. I am not sure. It sounds like you can't do a bulk, like a bulk set. If you do like a, oh, okay. List fields, manage custom fields for, okay. New field or use an existing field. Okay. I think right here, oops, I did not mean to do that. I think if I go into week 2, if I go to week 2, I can add or edit fields if I wanted to right here. For week 3, I think that's what I was looking at. Okay, week 3 and week 4. Okay. All right. So a couple things that you can do, and roadmaps look a bit different. You don't necessarily have to have that in that timeline feature. As you saw in the beginning when we were looking at try shift, they had it in a like in almost like 2 boxes, like left and right box. This could be your roadmap right here, your member content roadmap. You have sorted it by the month, you've expanded the subtasks, and you can literally start planning. And you can very much look at putting in checklists for each of the themes, right? And you can begin to plan efficiently. So, but if you did want, that more visual component, then you can start to look at this. If you do want to group by theme, I'm going to look at it by month and see how that goes. And if you're able to do that, we got to scroll all the way over. There's probably even a better way to filter these. I see. There's always something inside of the ClickUp that you are looking at. Let me look right here into the start date, where the start date is. I'm going to say next year. Look at that. So they have all the start dates for next year. Group by month, but okay. So I'll go back and I'll definitely tinker with that and see kind of how I want to look into that. But the filters are great because you can then literally go by like due dates, and you can actually go in and see like where the due date is, within next quarter, or overdue, or next year, or last year, or the exact date. You can actually start to look at that. So if you go to due date is next year, then you can kind of begin to look at that. So all right, we will continue to explore the road mapping. There are a couple of announcements to work through. We'll just do a couple of quick announcements. One announcement is that we'll definitely be having some more guests in the next couple of weeks as we go through this everyday work series. When we do the everyday work series, what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be bringing in guests that want to show you all how they work. And so I have a couple of folks that are going to be talking about different apps and different things that they use in their business and in their brand. So that's going to be super, super exciting to talk with those individuals. So meeting with folks, getting schedules together, but we're going to keep on working on these roadmaps and looking at how we can organize ourselves, and looking at the forecasting piece of it, and seeing how we can always do process improvement. So we'll be back. We're going to be continuing this. I'm going to do some updates to it, and we're just going to continue to look at some more aspects of road mapping and kind of how you want to go about doing some roadmaps within your business and your brand. So thank you guys so much. We'll talk soon. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Stay safe and have a great rest of the day. We'll talk soon. Bye. All right.